G'day. Welcome to the Flow Bro podcast. My name's Julian, hypnotherapist, founder of the Flow Bro podcast. All round good guy, pretty chill guy. Just here having a chat, ranting and raving for whoever will listen. Mostly my family. My mum will probably listen, maybe she won't. But that's what I'm here for. So, welcome. It's great to have you if you're listening. If you're not listening, it's not great to have you. But as always, we'll start the day, the session, the conversation with a bit of a vibe check. Simply taking a few breaths and seeing what's going on for me and for you. And then we can just ease into whatever it is we're going to talk about today. So feel free to close down your eyes. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take 3 deeply cleansing breaths. In through the nose. Out through the nose. In. Out. In. And just hold. And out. Feels good to slow down and to breathe, does it not? So what am I feeling today? I'm feeling really, really good today. Body feels great. Mind feels great. I had a great night's sleep last night, which is interesting because the first few nights of the week I've had a not so good night of sleep. I struggled to get to sleep. Don't know what was going on there. Doesn't matter now because last night I slept great all the way through. Woke up, fired up, gym, here, chill, do the things, bit of work, bit of fun. Maybe I'll watch some TV, I don't know. But the body feels good, and I can't remember if I've spoken about it. I've gone through, injury struggles, some actual real injuries, some probably a manifestation of some emotional turmoil, who knows, working through lots of things. But the body's really settled at the moment. The diet is on point. Everything is just flowing. So, yeah, feeling really good, really good. How are you feeling? What are you noticing in your body? Any tension, lower back, in the belly, in the chest? I've been noticing a lot of people, their nervous system on high alert, struggling with various different things. And of course, I see that because they're the people that come and see me, people who are struggling. So it's not just, in the world, but there does seem to be a lot of tension around. World events are going on and there's a lot of chatter. We're more connected than ever. So there's a lot of conversations around what's going on in the world, the challenges that, we face locally, nationally and abroad. And people are interested in talking about them. And a lot of the people I see, they have, generally speaking, I see people who are looking to move through anxiety or what they believe is anxiety, any tension, nervous system, dysregulation. So these are the people that, generally come and see me. And these people tend to, I don't know if it's people with higher levels of anxiety and dysregulation that tend towards this behaviour, or if this behaviour leads people into this general direction. I think it's a bit of both. But generally the people, not all of course, nothing is without exception. A lot of the people that I see are very concerned about world events to the point that they let, the world events and reading about these and the conversations they have online and the gram and things like that really affect how they experience life internally. And we'll talk about that a bit further. Because, the subconscious really always is looking for evidence. It's looking for evidence to prove you're right or wrong. Generally to prove you're right. Because, if you notice something that proves you wrong, your belief's wrong, generally it's pushed to the side. It takes a bit of convincing for most people to take that with a grain of salt and actually take it on board and settle it into their system. Generally, what we look for is confirmation that our beliefs are correct. And when we get that confirmation, it just adds fuel to the fire. So let's start to talk about what's going on in the world. I would say I'm not a big... I don't engage a lot with world events. I do dabble. I'll have a look. I don't let it really affect me too much. I find some interest in some things. But I think a lot of it's sensationalised. A lot of it is, to drum up fear and to drum up conversations and to drum up, anger and disharmony, because that really gets people engaged. People don't engage much with, happiness and joy. You see, I'm online. If you follow me here, you probably follow me online. So, I'm around that space. So I read comments. I see all the things, and so much division online. Even in the beautiful spaces I spend a lot of time in, I still get to see some of the other stuff that comes in. But what's going on in the world now? So we've got global tensions. We have, the potential wars or the actual wars that are happening overseas. Disharmony here locally with housing, cost of living, homelessness, e-bikes. How much news do you hear about e-bikes? It's crazy. I won't say I love them because I've almost interacted with some e-bikes, driving and walking. So perhaps there needs to be something done about that. There's someone at my door. I'm guessing it's my wife. Let me have a look. I'll be right back. Okay. That was my wife. She just came to say hello. She just happens to, we're both in an office space. I'm in my office now, and she has an office just down the hallway. So we both rent spaces here, so we can hang out occasionally. But anyway, yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. World events. I was talking about homelessness. E-bikes. I was talking about e-bikes. Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff happening with e-bikes, isn't there? Lots of new laws potentially coming through. That concerns a lot of... That creates a lot of debate, the e-bikes. Great form of transport. But, yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah. War stuff, US politics. There's a lot of stuff going on with ICE. A lot of people I talk about are really worried about, or not worried, but they really get into American politics. American politics is very divisive. Our politics is heating up as well. I guess it's becoming more divisive now than it had been in the past. And, specifically around US politics, and US is, the Epstein files have sort of been, a bit of it's been leaked, and there's a lot of people talking about that. And obviously that's, a lot of bad shit going on there. But that creates for a lot of people, some people are fine with it. Like, I can read that, think, what a bunch of gross people, let's lock them all up. I agree completely. Without really, creating any sort of anxious sensation or anything like that, and a lot of people can separate their internal experience from the external world to a degree. But a lot of people can't. And a lot of people will, hear about a celebrity or a politician who's been outed as a terrible person, and just creates this disharmony within them, and they really get to see they don't get to see, but they get to create this narrative that the world is actually a terrible place. And what it does, it's just evidence. It's just evidence for their nervous system and their subconscious that, yes, the world is a terrible place, and it starts to build. And perhaps these people have had terrible experiences throughout their lives. Trauma, childhood, adulthood. And one event like that, maybe multiple, I don't know, can lead to this evidence start to build up. And when they hear these things and read these things, which are sensationalized and dramatized, bad, yes, consistent and constant flow of it, it just adds up. It adds up, and the nervous system is like, yep, that's happening. That's happening everywhere I look. I can't go anywhere. Let's put up these walls. Let's create this danger everywhere. And that's what people struggle with. So we've got that going on. ICE. Not just the drug, the people locking up or kicking people out of the country over there. Cost of living. That's actually a real issue, not just one that's sensationalized. It's pretty hard. So, but I wonder if you could notice these things, be proactive about doing something about it, but not have it create these negative experiences internally. And that's part of the journey when someone comes through to flow hypnosis, is to be able to experience challenges, difficulties, really significant challenges as well, and to be able to move through and to start to create evidence, a different kind of evidence, that they can actually survive and thrive through these hard times. And when you start to build up that evidence in that direction, then things start to change in a different way. The nervous system relaxes in the face of those hectic life things that happen all the time throughout history. It never stops, it's just the way life is. But you don't have to live a life of dread and worry and fear, because life is just life. So isn't that an interesting thing to know? And a lot of people out there will think, no, this is happening, this is bad, and I should feel bad because of that bad thing happening. Why? Where did you learn that has to be your experience? Why can't your experience be something different? If I'm here telling you that your experience can be very different, that you can still engage in that kind of dialogue, media, however you intake information, without it creating that tension. You can have a debate without getting angry. You can have a disagreement, even political, which is, I think, super important. We've got left versus right. We've got, potentially one nation coming in, and over here we've got Liberal coming in over here, Labor doing what they do, and, there's lots of tension around the politics here. Why can't two people on opposite sides of the political spectrum have a debate without getting angry about it? That's what good politics is, right? It doesn't seem that way anymore. It seems, we've got angry people wanting to fight all the time about their political beliefs. Stand up for what you believe in, of course. That's how it should be, in a peaceful way. You should be able to debate, understand, see other people's points of view. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but because you have your own point of view. But you still understand it and respect them for having it. Yeah, that's what life's all about, right? But we've lost the art of respectful debate, I think. It seems, especially in the political space. So, and that is not just because people are angry. That's the nervous system in the subconscious. This is what's happening to the world, because we're creating layer upon layer of various different evidences, of voices that are coming in, and they're telling people how to feel and think and how to respond. And we start to believe without conscious thought that this is the way it has to be. But it doesn't have to be this way. You get to choose now how you move forward. Why do you want to move forward with hate and anger when you can just flow, say your part, and just cruise through life? A lot of people who listen to this are going to be like, Julian, that's dumb. What I believe is right, I'm the right one, and they are wrong. And they're going to be like, no, I'm the right one, and they are wrong. Everyone's right all the time. Yeah, whoop-de-doo, who cares? Just live with your values, stay aligned with your beliefs, and just keep moving forward. Say your part respectfully. Disagree respectfully. That's cool. Let's start to build some evidence for ourselves that the world isn't that bad and that we can be on opposite sides of the spectrum, disagree, but still be respectful to each other. I believe that is the way. That is the way. But our nervous systems of a lot of people through life just won't let that be the way. Because all of a sudden everything that disagrees is danger. It's danger. It's danger. And the nervous system goes up. It's fight or flight. You disagree with me? Okay. I'm ready to fight. I don't accept this because this is what we've been trained to do. Whether there's a method to the man out there or the woman, whoever's in charge. This has been nurtured and created for us to create negativity, because negativity sells. Negativity sells. A peaceful, harmonious population, they don't need to suppress their anger and hate. They're not frivolously spending money on things to make them happy. They're not consuming as much. They're happy. They don't need as much. People who are relaxed and calm and easy, they don't need to suppress. They don't need to drink. They don't need to smoke. They don't need to eat takeout, and they don't need to do all these things that, contribute to the machine, the money machine. They can be happy just being. And that's my goal. When anyone steps in the room, of course their goal matters more than my goal. But what I wish for everyone who comes to see me is for them just to be happy existing without the need for anything else. To be happy within yourself, to feel good, no matter what you do, no matter your job, your socio-economic status. Just to feel good. And wouldn't it be nice just to feel good, to move through life, seeing these different things, controversy, drama, and just feel good within yourself. And then when you're feeling good and you're moving through these things, you notice them, you're like, okay, that's information. I should be aware of that, but not alarmed. And you just keep moving through life. And then you're able to collect information. You're able to see things objectively for what they are. You could even see both sides of the spectrum, whether it's political or other. You can just see all the different angles. You'll be like, okay, how informed am I? I'm not, creating this sensation within me, anger and, violence and hatred. I can have my beliefs, maybe, if that's what you want. Or you can just look on. You can just flow through. I don't know. It's just food for thought, perhaps. What else is happening in the world? I've just got my Google up here. Global mental health crisis. That's the thing, and there is rising anxiety, burnout, fatigue. Those are real things, and that is because of all the other things I've been talking about. These things go hand in hand. Global instability through various different things is creating or contributing, nurturing this disharmony within the people within it. It goes hand in hand, and then when people are not feeling harmonious and aligned, then they then act out in a way that perhaps is violent or aggressive. And so it contributes to the other, and we keep escalating and escalating. And what's the chance of things de-escalating? Because if things escalate, nervous systems escalate, we start to get evidence that things are bad, so we defend ourselves and create, things to defend ourselves, so things get worse and we're reactive. And then more bad things happen. It's just escalating until we get to this point where, it seems and it feels like it looks like all this bad stuff's happening. So it's creating a lot of mental health issues for a lot of people. I've been busier, you know. Don't get me wrong. I want to be busier. I want to be so busy and help so many people. I don't want more people to get unwell though. But there's enough unwell people already that they can come in here and find some help. But February, we're in February now. It is the 26th today as I record this. February's been a great month for me. Good start to the year. Solid. Looking to take a step up for March. Let's see where things go. But yeah, really, really good month. Positive growth financially and positive results for the great humans that have come and seen me and continue to do so. So yeah, really, really stoked about how things are going thus year so far. But there is a lot of demand for the work, so it's great. It's great. And, you know, I love hypnotherapy. I love breath work. Most of my work is in the hypnotherapy space, so that's where the real magic happens, I believe. Controversial take. It is the most powerful tool out there for mental health support. And if you haven't tried it, I think everyone should give it a go. If you're feeling that disharmony within, and find someone, someone you trust. Perhaps it's Julian from Flow Hypnosis. Who knows? He's a cool guy. And in this space, in the Flow Lounge, the Flow Zone, the studio, whatever you want to call it, it's a cool space. It's nice. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. There's sometimes challenging conversations, and that's okay as well. But for the most part, it's pretty easy going, and people walk out really, really light and easy. Not like the pre-prepared food, but within themselves. They just float. A lot of people float. And they move through life, and they feel like, how I didn't realise I could feel this way. It's almost, I had a individual, she was coming in because she had some issues with needles and she needed to get blood tests. And after the first session, she went out the next day and got this blood test. And she come back in for another session. I was like, how did it go? How did the blood test go? And she's like, it just seems so silly. Like when I was preparing to go and when I got there and I was getting it, I was like, how was this ever an issue? It just like it couldn't click through her mind anymore that she used to have that issue. She laughed about it. Like, how could this possibly have been an issue? It's so silly. And that's the magic, right? I'm not a wizard. This person's partner actually called me a witch doctor. Not in a positive way, but that's his own thing. I'm not a magician. I'm not a wizard. Or am I? Maybe I am. But no, there's nothing crazy about it. It's just understanding the subconscious and letting the subconscious know that it's cool. It's cool. It's not dangerous. This is safe. You're gonna be okay. And like when you consciously think that, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be okay. You go to do it, you're like, ah. But when the subconscious knows it's gonna be okay, the subconscious is like, okay, it's okay. Ah. What's the difference? Looking for the evidence. We give it some evidence. We give it some information. Boom, 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 boom. I have this here. What's big at the moment? AI. I'm sick of AI. And I love it at the same time. I'm sick of it and I love it. I'm sick of it, love it. Don't let it get me angry, but I'm a little bit sick of it. And it's so obvious, especially on the socials, on the grams, on the Chevy Chasers, on the TikToks, on the LinkedIn. I'm on them all. Follow me on all. Am I on anything else? No, that's about it. I was on X and Threads for a while, but didn't really vibe with them. But the AI explosion, like the AI pictures are pretty fun actually. I like, because people aren't trying to hide it. It's like it's AI. You can tell, and it's like, yeah, that is AI, and it's fun. It's pretty crazy. But AI captions, like they're telling stories about their lives, written by a computer. What is going on here? And people are eating it up. Ugh. Maybe that's causing me a bit of disharmony. How interesting. How interesting. And look, I use a lot of AI. Whether it's some guidance and assistance with... Let me have a look at my chats, actually. I'll have a look at my chats and see what I've got here. I might write some stuff. It helps me sort of do my calorie counting. I like to fluctuate my calories. So I'm like, I want to average this many calories. Can you spread that over a week? Anyway. Oh yeah, I was having a chat about different martial arts gyms in the area, trying to find the best one for myself. I'm thinking about getting back in. I did a bit of boxing for a while, which is great. I've done some karate and different things, but I keep my body, tend to get these little niggling injuries that sort of hold me back. But I'm ready to get out there again. I'm, training really well at the moment in the gym. Diet's really lined up and things are really moving. I'm feeling really strong and things like that. So I want to perhaps step into a space, into a gym. I'm thinking maybe Muay Thai. I thought about Jiu-Jitsu because that's what my son is doing, but I think that might be a bit hectic on the knees. So let's just see. I'm still just having a look. He does MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. He loves it. So yeah, I asked my wife this morning, I said, do you think that me wanting to do this is a midlife crisis? I turned 40 this year. She's like, you've had that many hobbies and things. You just don't have a hobby at the moment. Every time you get a new hobby, it's possibly a midlife crisis. Who knows? But I think maybe you're bored and you need to do something again. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I do like to do lots of things. And at the moment, I've got the gym, I've got my work or my family. That's about it. So got this podcast. So those kinds of things. So anyway, so I have a chat about different things. Some SEO stuff, even viral hooks and gathering some information, ad copy, breakdown of some books that I've been reading about, different business stuff, caricature request. So yeah, I'm not anti-AI. I'm only anti-AI when people are using it to tell stories. Let's get back to being creative and using your own voice. I want to know what you have to say. It doesn't have to be clean and crisp. It doesn't have to, be necessarily a flow. I just want it to be real. Just be real. Let's move away from this digitalization of our voices, of our conversations. And I even, on the socials, people writing their comments with that. It's so obvious, guys. And I don't know why that bothers me so much. But if I notice something written with AI, I'm a big fan of, it doesn't take much to like a post of someone. And that it's great because, even one person liking something and I've done, I'm like, yeah, I hope that person really appreciated what I created and they liked it, and that's them showing me their support. And I really appreciate any type of support. If one of my posts gets one like, that's one person that potentially is, appreciated it. Perhaps they've just scrolled by and liked it. They may have not read it, but that's okay. I appreciate that. If I get 10 people to like this, that's a big audience of people. It's like 10 people sitting in the room in front of you. That's a great audience, and I appreciate every single one of them. But if I'm scrolling and I notice people have used AI, obviously, I'm not giving it a like. I'll like heaps of stuff randomly. That's, cool little post, photo, family, doing this, don't give a F. whatever. If it's from inside, which I don't like it because I actually don't like it. But I will support people who don't go in that direction. Anyway, that's just me. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I just miss real people saying real things in a real way, with their own voice, because we need unique voices, right? A lot of voices are starting to sound the same because AI sounds the same. If you go into Chatty now and ask them for a Facebook post about something, or even ask them for a bloody YouTube script to do a podcast about thing, it'll come out with it and it'll sound exactly like everyone else's AI. It's all the same. It's gathering the same information. Even once it's got your voice, it'll have a little twist in your direction, but all the stuff is the same. You're not broke. Look, I've done it. Yeah, of course I've done it. Which may be why I'm so over it. Because I just want to... But anyway. Do you then, if you can't beat them, join them? Or do you just separate yourself from the pain? I think you separate. That's what I'm trying to do as much as possible. And people probably go through my posts and say, oh, this looks like AI. Maybe it is. There's some AI stuff. I had someone doing some social media, was it last year or maybe the year before for me, from overseas, and it started off really well, but then it started to sound really like AI, and I thought, well, it's just going to be AI, and then, I could do that. I could put in a bit of information. You can even get AI to create the post for you. I'll get Chatty to make a thumbnail for this post, for this podcast video. But what I'm saying is unscripted. It's raw. It's just what I feel. What's coming out. Yeah, so take the good with the bad, I guess. That's where we're at the moment. And other people are worried about AI taking their jobs. I don't know. I guess that could be the case for a lot of people. And where does the world head after that? Hopefully it doesn't take away the creative jobs. Perhaps there's some... I don't know what jobs I'd be happy to see go, as long as there's something for people to do and to earn an income and to make a go of life and try and enjoy it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? But if there isn't the work anymore because computers have taken them all, then we're starting to create a bit of an issue, aren't we? Interesting. How long have I been talking for? I don't know. I'm just going, aren't I? Is there any timing there? No. Okay. I'll just keep going. I'll stop when I stop. What's happening? What's happening around the world? That sounds boring. Boring. Hustle culture? What do I think about hustle culture? I do, just work as hard as you want. I don't know actually. I do. Oh, who's that funny Mandel guy? And he takes has a laugh about the influencers trying to just got a 10 times that. You got 10 times that. Why don't you just it was doing one. Who was he making fun of? I don't know. The guy was like, a good place to start is with 32 investment properties. When you buy 32 investment properties, then that's a good start, and you can get a good recurring income from that. And he's just taking the mickey out of that. Like, who says that? Start with 32 investment properties? Have you lost your effing mind? But yeah, it's really funny. How about the guy who is like, oh, I've manipulated time. I've turned one day into 3 days. My day starts at this and it ends at this. It's like 3 8-hour days. I guess that's the side of hustle culture that's probably a bit of a laugh. But I think people working hard to achieve goals that they set for themselves is great. You shouldn't feel that, forced to do that. Whatever your life direction takes you is fine. You want to work a job and, have a family and live a sort of slow, quiet life, that's awesome. If that makes you happy, if you're hustling to make mad bank, to be boss girl and all those things is for you, awesome. I love that for you. But don't listen to these bozos on the internet who are manipulating time. I guess I have goals for myself, and I wouldn't say I'm a hustle bro, but I'm pretty self motivated in my my business. I'm an entrepreneur, and I want to grow this big, and it's not easy. I've got to put a lot of time into it, and a lot of patience. And even when things aren't working, you've got to keep putting in the effort, because the only real business that doesn't work is the business that you stop. And a lot of, say, hypnotherapy, if you do any research on that, a lot of people who study won't even open a practice, first of all, because you can't get jobs in it. You have to really do your own thing, here in Australia anyway. And for those who do start a business, not many will last, 12 months. They do it as a hobby, and then they realise that it's really challenging to get cemented in your area, or globally, if that's what you're looking for. Very few will make it past 2 years, but those who make it past 3 years generally are going to do okay. So it's patience, it's resilience, it's consistent output to receive that input. And the business, it goes like this, it really does. Like, sometimes you'll be like, wow, man, it's just pumping, it's just going. I can't even keep up with it. I love it. And other days you're like, hello, where are you? I know you're out there. I know you need some help, but you're not calling me. Sad for me, world's smallest violin. But I think that's just, hypnotherapy is a challenging business to start and to succeed, but it's business in general. It's just generally hard. So you do have to have a bit of that hustle culture mentality to really succeed in business in general. It's just the way it is. But I think there's, it's not, you don't have to go to those extremes. There's a balance. Even, the wellness space can be stressful for those who are trying to support people, because it's not always sunshines and rainbows. It's the ups and downs of it all. It's the challenges. It's being broke and then doing well, and the ups and downs, and trying to really get out there and get people to know you is not easy. So for any of those people going through that currently, keep going. I support everyone in the space, hypnotherapists, because what they say, a rising tide raises all boats. The more hypnotherapists around, the better work that they're doing, because if they're doing good work, they're going to keep doing good work as they continue to move forward. Then that brings up all our names together. We'll do this together. Create such a powerful statement. And perhaps people start to shift from other therapies into hypnotherapy, because it is so powerful. It doesn't take a long time. It's short-term, solution-focused therapy, process-oriented, and we just get to the root cause, the subconscious programmings, and we reframe those. You don't have to continually, consciously try to change the way you think and behave. It's subconscious. It's magic. It's not really, but it feels like it. But it's science. But it feels like magic. So yeah, that's my dream, is for everyone with a challenging mental health experience to seek out hypnotherapists. Because I do believe, from what I've seen and heard from my clients, is that it is the most powerful therapeutic tool there is. I've seen so many people come in to see me who have been in some form of therapy for years. I can't even believe it. I don't think I would let someone see me for years, unless they simply just enjoyed it. Like, if they're just doing it because it's enjoyable, it's a nice time to chill out, They loved the hypnotherapy. But if they would continue to come and see me for the same issue that wasn't getting resolved, for me, I would feel really, it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't sit right with me. And I understand there are some issues that need constant support with. We're not talking about those significant, serious mental illnesses, for example. Things that are actually stuck, that just need support over the long term. That's different. But I've seen people come with general anxiety, and they've been to therapy for years, and I guess it's my last hope. I don't know what else to do. 1 month, and they're through the worst of it. Can't believe it. So, man, I couldn't see someone like that for years. I would feel like I'm not doing my job. I'd probably go retrain. I'd be really introspective about that. I would be quite concerned with the work that I'm doing. Okay, moving on. Let's not get too controversial. We're just having a chilled chat, and I'm running out of battery on my laptop. So I guess if we bring it all together, what we're really experiencing in the world at the moment is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unrest, and people are feeling it deep within themselves. And I'm just here to say that, it doesn't have to be that way. Just because there's challenges in the world, locally or globally, doesn't mean you have to create this negative feeling within you. And if you've been feeling a bit more tense lately, on edge, unwell, a bit more, wide, it's just your nervous system and your subconscious trying to create safety, trying to find safety in this space that you feel is unsafe. So instead of just simply believing that the world is unsafe and these external things, experiences, are the reason for your internal instability, just know that your internal instability comes from you. It doesn't come from what's happening around you. And there is a space for you to move forward and to take control of how you respond to these things and how you create safety with all this external stimuli existing. You can control how you respond to all those things, and it can be really quick and easy if you choose it. So just keep that in mind. And when you are moving through the world and you're absorbing the external stimuli, the news, the social media, the conversations you're having with people, just see what it's doing to you. If someone starts talking about a negative world event and you're all of a sudden like, and you notice, you're down for a while and you ruminate on it, then it's time for you to start to take some action on that, to move forward, because that doesn't have to be your experience. It can be very different to that. Yeah? Okay. I think I'm going to wrap it up today for this. For those who are interested, a little plug. I do have a free community on School, the Flow Village. We do some free breathwork sessions. It can be a nice way for you to, just an introductory way, some basic breathwork to ease some of that anxiety you may be experiencing, some of the stress, and also an introduction to how, to me and to the conversations we have here and how I do things, and perhaps we can expand on the conversation one-to-one if that's what you wish. So give me a like, please. Subscribe if you like. Share it if you love it. Whatever feels right. I'm Julian. This has been the Flow Pro Podcast. Thank you very much. See you next time.